All right, so thank you to everyone that took the time out of their day to come to our final session of the Social Media Power Hour series. It was such a great success. We're going to be doing more series on different topics, but this one has come to an end. So as a conclusion, we're going to play a little game. If anyone remembers making the origami fortune tellers, that's what we're going to be doing today. So on the top here, you can see different words. We have tri, semi, condo, duplex. Interesting, they're all real estate words. So what's great about them is that they all have a different number of letters. So you guys will pick a word, and then I use the fortune teller, how many letters it is. You then pick a number. I'll call out the 4 numbers. I fold it again. And then we pick another number and I open that one up and it will have, for example, this one says stories. This one says newsletter. So I'll be talking a bit about what I would do based on if I was in the market to be making a newsletter or posting on my story. So let's begin. Out of tri, semi, condo, and duplex, does someone want to pick a word?
I'll pick duplex.
Duplex, okay, D-U-P-L-E-X. 7, 8, 3, or 4?
7.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, or 6. Anyone can pick it. 2. Okay. Personal posts. Okay. So personal posts are really interesting because a lot of the time, realtors will just post, just listed, featured listing, etc. But your social media then gets bogged down with all this real estate content and you lose people in that. It can be interesting, but not as interesting as adding your own personal touches to your social media. So personal posts, we do want people to know that you're an active realtor, but we also want to feel connected to you. Real estate is a business of relationships and connections. And to do that, these are some of the things that I would post if I was a realtor looking to post more personally. So any personal milestones, celebrating your achievements, both within and outside of real estate, whether you've just gotten an award or you've ran a marathon, whether it's hitting a sales goal, completing a certificate, or a birthday in the family, personal posts do really well. Hobbies and interests. I know a lot of our realtors are either musicians, or I know one of them actually is getting his pilot's license. This is really cool stuff that you can share with your sphere. Local community involvement. One of our agents is actually currently doing interviews in her community. Lorena just went to a grocery store and a bakery to do interviews within her community. And those posts will be shared. And those are still personal posts, even though you're, acting as a realtor and a community liaison, basically. Any type of testimonials and reviews. These can, be through past clients or even coworkers, especially if you're on a team. Book or podcast recommendations. I think this is really cool because it also speaks to who you are as a person. And you may not know that someone that follows you or someone in your sphere is listening to the same podcast as you. And that's just another connection you're making. In our new office, we're actually going to have a library with all types of real estate related books, personal achievement books that you can check out to either read yourself or use as part of content creation. Family and relationships, travel and adventure, all these are personal posts. I know some people don't like sharing their family on their business accounts, which is fine. There are all these types of personal posts to be doing. Quotes and inspirational content. I know a lot of people will see like the Motivational Monday and all of that. These are really good. I do recommend posting them on your stories, which is another topic that we're going to talk about, and why those should really go on your stories and not your feed. Does anyone have any questions about personal posting?
Did you mention pets?
Oh, did I mention pets? No, my apologies. I did say family and relationships, so I suppose that could go in there.
They are our children, yes.
Yes.
Gavin, if you want to get on this, if you're here.
All the little fur babies. Were there any other questions about personal postings?
Michelle, are you saying putting those on both your business page and personal page?
Yes, yeah. So your personal page, so on Facebook, you'll have your personal account and then your Facebook page, which is your business page. Personal posts like that should be going on both. Your personal page has your own personal sphere, your friends, your family, all of that. Your business page will have more of your business connections, people that have Facebook business postings. A lot of the time I recommend people post on their business page and then share that post on their personal page. You can also post on your personal and then your business. It kind of just takes one step out of the equation if you post on your business page and then share it instead of having to repost it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyone else have any other questions? No? Okay. Does someone want to pick another word? Triplex, duplex, semi, or condo?
Condo.
Condo, C-O-N-D-O. 3, 4, 7, or 8?
3.
3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 5, or 6?
6.
6. Okay. Just listed. Okay, this is a good one. So, just listed. Congratulations, you have a new listing. We're going to market it right off the bat. So, even as you're leaving the house, take a quick selfie or a selfie video in front of your new listing. Post a teaser image of the property's exterior with a caption like, exciting things coming, stay tuned for a big reveal. You can use relevant captions and hashtags, hashtag coming soon, hashtag new listing, etc. Take behind the scenes and teasing photos of the property. So if you are, for example, I know one of our agents was getting the drone footage done today. If you are there witnessing them taking the drone footage, that is content. That is behind the scenes stuff that a lot of people don't know the ins and outs of. They just know the high quality photos of your listing, and that's great. But from the get-go, you have content about your new listing. You don't always have to wait for those MLS photos. Now, once all that photography is done, you need a just listed announcement on your social media. There's a few ways that you can do this. So you can use Canva, which for anyone that was part of our Canva for Realtors session last week, it was such a good one with Jake. So you can either customize your own template. If you're part of Realty Executives, you have access to the Prime Agent social media templates for all of the just listed, just leased, etc. You need to be blasting this out on your Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere that you are, it needs to be. Writing a caption is also a really important part of it. So this includes property specs such as bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and a call to action, either to visit your website or call you directly at whatever number. If you're new to writing captions or you haven't seen any captions that really you would like to kind of copy, you can use ChatGPT. I know that we've talked about ChatGPT a few times already, but an example of a prompt for ChatGPT would be, write me an Instagram caption for a 4-bedroom back split in Lisgar, Ontario. It is listed at 2.5 million with a beautiful backyard. It is in a good school district with lots of parks. And from that, ChatGPT, just show you, it has written me a full caption, and all the highlighted parts are actually the areas that I could change based on the type of property. So for example, I could just change the name of the desirable neighborhood, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and the rest of the writing is actually good enough just to use as a template. So I can save this in my notes or in a Word document and go back to it later to create a new caption. Does anyone have any questions about ChatGPT and caption writing? No? Okay. So moving on with the content of your just listed, your audience wants to look inside. So you can share a virtual tour video of the property, giving viewers a comprehensive look at each room. I know that Herbert and Nick did a fantastic job of this with Scott's Glen Road listing. It was, I believe, a 6-part series. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it did increasingly well. It's just short videos. The longer video went on the YouTube page and the short videos went on social media. So you will be posting videos with either your face in them, or if you use a third-party photographer and they have a virtual tour, post that as well. It is my job to tell you that posts with your face in them do extremely better than the ones without. A key thing to remember is when you're posting on social media, you are in the palm of someone's hand. You have to act like it is a face-to-face conversation, a face-to-face interaction, because it is. So the videos that are posted will go on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. You want to be breaking down the video into 3 or 4 clips at least. I loved the 6-part series. It was a bigger house, so that made a lot of sense that it was 6 parts. But to post a whole video that's longer than a minute, we've seen drastically the views go down after a minute of content, because you have about 3 seconds to grab people's attention and you only have it for a short amount of time. People love scrolling and they don't really want to wait around. Keeping in mind that these clips, I will say 30 seconds is your max. That would be my recommendation. After that, you are getting into that, drop down of views, especially after a minute. So 30 seconds, key pieces of information, and then tomorrow you can post the next clip. Does that make sense? Yes, good. If you are new to making videos or you don't have a virtual tour video, anyone that has access to Prime Agent can actually use the listing automation videos. So these are in the marketing library. All you have to do is connect your MLS number to your Prime Agent account. And then in the marketing tab on Prime Agent, go to listing automation video, and it will actually grab all the photos from your MLS listing, the full description. And all you have to do really is pick a piece of acoustic music. You can drag and drop the photos based on which ones you like, between 10 and 30 photos. And you just click submit and it processes the video for you. It is more of a slide deck than a walkthrough tour, but it goes on the International Realty Executives International Real Estate Listings page on YouTube, and it will send you a copy to your email that you can post anywhere. So like I said, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. So if you can check it out on Prime Agent, I highly recommend it, especially if you're just getting into the video marketing side of things. You can also bring your peers to these listings. So for example, Herbert, I don't know if you wanted to chat a bit about working with James Taylor and his listing and kind of how that went. I know James was new to the video marketing thing as well. And do you want to share a bit about that?
Yeah, actually, James was, he didn't know how to film or post or anything like that. So I went and recorded some shots, put that together for him, and then we uploaded it. And really what I wanted to show him was that when it comes to a listing, there's hundreds of possible postings that you can put on there. You can talk about the grounds. You can talk about the history of the house. You can talk about the interior of the home. You can talk about the owner. There's so many different things that you can speak about and have content put up. So for example, today, and he's not here today, but today he was gonna have drone footage being done. So he was like, okay, what do I do here? How do I, what content? And I'm like, this is great. The content you're gonna be posting up is 2 parts. One would be just recording the whole process of somebody doing drone footage. You don't even have to talk, just record the whole thing. Later on, you can talk into the computer there and just talk about what the process looked like. I contacted these guys, they've been doing it for 10+ years. here's the drone footage, and you can see them setting up. Like, that's wonderful content that I personally would love to know about. Like, I want to know behind the scenes. Then the other information I asked him to do is do an interview with the drone footage guys. Ask them, like, so how much does the equipment cost, and how long does a typical drone footage take to shoot and put together? Like, general questions that you can ask. You don't even have to edit that video. You can just upload it right away in its raw format into Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and you have instant information. So it's a wonderful process. You don't have to overthink this too much. It's really about what information you would think that people would like to know about it. That's it. You know, we were just talking to, I was just talking to Nick here regarding the post that I did. I recorded Nick as well at that house. And what we did is we did 2 shots. One was a long format shot, and that was going to go to YouTube. And then the other shots were just 1-minute videos that we spliced up just on the phone. I didn't do any editing on that one. It was just 1-minute shot, and I just told them, okay, we're going to do this for 1 minute, and then, you know, stop. We shot for 1 minute. I sent it to him. All he did was just upload. There was no editing. And the views that he's gotten on Instagram, I mean, you can tell me the numbers.
Yeah, I think on one of the posts, I think I got as little as 550, but as high as up to 2,000 views up on just one video. And I think I had 1,500 on another and 1,700 on another. And then a couple of them, like I said, just as low as 550, which is still a good amount.
Yeah. And again, 0 editing. We didn't put any music to it. We didn't do anything. I just sent it to him. He uploaded it to Instagram, and it was done.
Yeah, absolutely. Even I know a lot of people get caught up on the editing of it and the transitions and everything, but especially if you're just starting out with video marketing, it does not need to be perfect. Even when you get into it, I don't know if anyone's seen my videos on the regional accounts. They're just fun. Like, the content is good, but I don't put a lot of effort into the editing and the transitions and all of that, because it's the content that matters, not the, you know, glitz and glam of it all. So excellent point, Herbert. And for anyone that hasn't seen the videos, they're really good. Some of them are on our regional page as well. Does anyone want to add anything about what they do for just marketing a Just Listed, or have any questions about marketing for Just Listed? I know that Anita's been doing really well with the, yes, Anita.
Sorry, Michelle. Sorry, technical difficulties. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can we, as Realty executives, share each other's content on our Facebook and Insta pages? So when you guys post videos, I'll share them, and because I think it's going to grab us more eyes on it. And even though I'm not up in Nancy's area, right, I still have friends that are up there, and I still have people that live up there that are my friends that, you know, would see it, right? The same as you guys would have people in Niagara. So that's, I was wondering if we could do that as a company, is really start, you know, promoting each other's listings. It's not mine, but it's ours as a company,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure. You never know who's going to see the content. And I think that's a great idea. I also want to let you guys know that any type of Realty Executives, whether it's regional, your brokerage account, such as Realty Executives Plus, Realty Executives International, all of these posts as well are up for grabs for you guys. Like, please, if you see content that you like and feel like, oh, I should do something like that, you can just ask me for the content or share it directly to your story. It's all there for you guys to use. If you want to post it as your own feed, all you have to do, you know, is ask for the content. I'm more than happy to share it with anyone. But yeah, definitely posting each other's listings and whatnot. I know that some of the brokerage groups have their, for example, Realty Executives Plus has a realtors group where some agents will share their new listings and whatnot. So yeah, if you see their postings and whatnot, posting a story, sharing it on your story is a great way to get that out there to your sphere as well.
Yeah, for Just Listed, one of the things that I'm seeing more often and hearing about, and Herbert did do it with James's listing, is actually interviewing the sellers. and getting the sellers to talk about the enjoyment of the neighborhood, talking about, you know, what goes on in the neighborhood, stuff that a just listed post normally wouldn't have, but it also starts getting as long as your sellers are good people and they want to do it and you're comfortable with doing it, it actually brings some more emotion to the house, right? Rather than just being a post, it now has some emotional backing to it. So I know when I was on at the conference, they were talking about getting that emotional factor earlier into the transaction. And so, but if you can now imagine interviewing people that are, and the idea of also interviewing, you know, companies that are in the area. And I know Lorena's really been doing a lot of that. It is a really good impact, and it's information that consumers will absorb versus just talking about the property. And I know Herbert and Nick did a good job about that. I know that James has been doing that and others have, but I am seeing throughout North America that interview process of the seller as almost the first information going out.
Yeah, absolutely. I know the sit down with James's seller is such a unique one just because it has such a unique property. But if they are open to it, absolutely get them in front of the camera. And for anyone that's in the Mississauga area, we have the Bluetooth microphones for you guys. We've just been using phones to record our videos. But if you do have any questions about recording or devices such as that, please contact myself or Herbert. We've used the technology a lot, and we have those mics in office for you to borrow at any time. Any other comments or questions? Okay, who wants to pick our next word? Tri, semi, condo, or duplex?
Semi.
Semi. 3, 4. 1, 2, 5, or 6?
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 7, or 8?
4.
4. Okay, when? One of the main questions I get is, when do I post? The short answer, whenever you can. A lot of people get caught up in the when of it all, which is fine, but unless you are posting 5 and 6 times a day, every day, the when is not what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is consistency. So please post when you can. Some of the key times to post for anyone that was part of our Powered by Experts series with Kyle Bazilla, he calls it heads down time. So that would be when you're working. Let's not post during heads down time. Early morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. is a great time. I don't know about you, but I definitely check my phone first thing in the morning. I prefer Instagram, so that's where I go first, you know, after I hit snooze on my alarm like 7 times. And then lunchtime is also a good time, around that 12:31. But the most engagement I've personally seen is between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. So that is when most people are done work, they're at home, it's either before dinner, after dinner. This is usually the time I see highest engagement, or at least the most views on my videos. Does anyone have anything that they would like to share about what time they post, or any high engagement they've seen during a specific time? That's okay. I also did want to point out that after doing some research and talking more with Kyle, insights, so one of the analytics on Instagram, Facebook, it's even on LinkedIn, insights will tell you when the best time to post is. But if you are not posting 5 and 6 times a day, that insight can be way off. So insights can actually just read what time you are most active on Facebook and Instagram, not particularly your sphere. And based on that, it will tell you which time is the best to post. So my recommendation, along with Kyle's, is to follow these early morning, lunch, evening hours and figure out what works best for you. I personally have seen high engagement in the evening, but I am also posting to realtors. That's my audience. So your audience might be different, and your engagement within those hours might be different. I know some realtors find it around like 6:30, 7 a.m. They get the most engagement. Others around 8 p.m. But the only way that you're going to find out is if you are consistent. So if you are posting 2 to 3 times a day, or sorry, not that, 2 to 3 times a week, that is probably a good base to be at. Obviously, you know, we want to get to a point where we're posting every day, but 2 to 3 times a week is plenty for starting out. Did anyone have any questions about when to post or insights? Yes.
All of you may know this, I don't. Is there a way to do a bunch of videos, for instance, like what Nick and Herbert did, and then just pre-schedule them to go out at a certain time and a certain day?
Yes, absolutely. Good question. So on our last session, we talked about a couple apps that can actually save you time when you're posting content. A few of these apps you can put your content into, write your caption, and schedule in their calendar for where you want it to post, including Instagram, Facebook. Some of them include TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc. Now, these apps do cost money. If you want to save money and still schedule, you can use Meta Business Suite for Instagram and Facebook. You can use the individual apps, each individual app, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok all have schedulers in them. So if you go into Instagram and you set up all your content, you write your caption, and you go into advanced settings, you can actually choose to schedule your video or your post later on. Now, for anyone that has the Google Drive already, these resources are all linked according. I will send out the Google Drive link after our session, and all of those resources will be in there. So we talked about Tailwind, we talked about later.com, all the apps will be linked in there as well, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. So if you don't have a page, please, create one, or if you do have a page and it's not active, let's get those pages going. So yes, there's definitely ways to schedule content. I know with Meta Business Suite, I believe there's, I think, a month or 6 weeks in advance that you can schedule. So that's a really good one. Any other questions? No.
All right,
Okay.
Michelle, sorry. You said some of them cost money. Which apps? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so later.com is one that costs money. There's a 14-day free trial. And then after that, you pay a certain amount of money. Tailwind does have a free version. It's not as extensive as the paid for version, but if you're just starting out, I definitely recommend using the free version. The other apps that we talked about are free. And then there's always the option to, I'll say, go pro. So for Canva, there's a free version, and our Canva for Realtors uses the free version as a template for you guys. But for anyone that uses Canva, there's a pro version as well that gives you everything the free version gives you plus more. So it just depends on how you want to use the app. Later.com is the only one that does not have a free unlimited, like a free version, basically.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question.
I have a comment, but
Yes.
I do apologize that I haven't really been in all of your meetings. So if this has already been covered, I sincerely apologize.
Okay.
But I think if you have specialty properties, like I have the farm for sale.
Yeah.
I also go through Facebook and I join everything to do with equestrian, everything to do with farm, and I post it directly onto their page. I don't know if that's something that you've discussed already. So not necessarily all posting just on mine. I go beyond that, or like a hunt camp, all the deer hunting sites for a hunt camp, post it all there because that's where they are. Right. I find that you get a lot of comments from that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great one. I think we touched upon it early on, but it was never actually a topic. No. Definitely, we didn't go into it extensively. Please don't apologize. But yeah, that is a great part of marketing. And one of the things I talk about when I talk about Facebook marketing is always joining local groups or groups that have your desired audience. Such as, if you sell a lot of farm land and you go to the equestrian groups, etc. These are great ways to market the property. So kudos to you for doing that, because not a lot of people think about that.
Well, I do apologize for reiterating something that you already discussed.
No, that's okay.
So,
any other comments or questions? Do we want to go with duplex?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. DUPLEX. 5, 6, 1 or 2. 1. 3, 4, 7, 8.
7.
Stories. Okay, this is a good one. So for anyone that doesn't know, stories are on Facebook and Instagram. You also have them on TikTok. They're not they're not as popular, but Instagram and Facebook stories can be very effective in engaging your audience and showing off your personality. Most people don't really know what to post on their story. I see a lot of people sharing their feed posts on their story all the time. And there's so many ways to be engaging with your audience via stories. And we're going to talk about them. So definitely, if you are, say, door knocking in your community, this is a great opportunity to take a selfie or take a video of your community. And all you need to do is put some text on there, enjoying this beautiful day in the, Lisgar area. And that's your story. That's it. You can do a day in the life. I see a lot of this. It is more interesting than you think it is, I promise. A lot of people don't know the ins and outs of what realtors do all day. And I know you know that. So doing a day in the life is super easy when it comes to stories. When you open your Instagram and go to your, the little icon on the top left that will have your profile picture, you can just click add story. All you have to do is take a picture. You can do a quick video and just do this throughout one day. And the first post can say, come with me in the day in the life of a realtor in the Brampton area. I would say post between 5 and 6 pictures throughout the day on your story. And it will get higher engagement than you think, I promise. You can also reshare content on your story that you find really funny. For example, yesterday I saw a video of this older lady doing a home tour. Yeah, see, I thought it was really funny. And so I just shared it on our story and I got a lot of likes, a lot of laughing emojis. The great thing about stories is that you can just swipe up and click on an emoji that's already there for you or click the like button. And a lot of people do this. It takes less than 1 second. You can reshare your own content. I do advise, it's like clickbait kind of. If you share your own content, put a sticker on top of it saying, check this out or new post. You don't want to cover the entire post, but you want to kind of cover the main part of it so that people click on the post. It's a little clickbaity, but it does get a lot of engagement back to your own post. You can also do a series. So for example, I know, hashtag Throwback Thursday is something that people like to do on their feed. If you're doing this on your feed and you are getting a lot of engagement, continue doing it. But if you've seen engagement drop down, that's not uncommon. So anything like Motivational Monday, Throwback Thursday, etc., these are great things to be putting on your story. It also helps you with consistency because then you know that your audience is expecting something from you. but to not overflow your feed with, you know, motivational quotes or etc. Posting on your story is a great way to add those in there and still keep the consistency. Now, a lot of people that do use stories or know about stories, you know that they are up for 24 hours and then they go away. But that doesn't have to be the case. You can add something on your Instagram profile called a highlight. So if we see here, these are actually highlights. So these contain all past stories in that category. So I just, for example, I click add new and I named one conference. And then any photos and videos I took on my story or posted to my story while we were in Nashville for the international conference, I saved them onto my highlight. So even though they're not on my feed, people can still access them. A lot of great highlights can be community spotlights, tips for buyers, how-tos, something like that. And it doesn't always have to be real estate related, but these are really great spaces to save your content and continue keeping content active for your audience. Another question I get a lot is the use of stickers. So stickers, if you've ever on Instagram seen that little happy face, kind of looks like a sticky note, that is the stickers button. So these include interactive stickers, such as asking a question, taking a poll, multiple choice questions, setting a countdown, and adding links to your story. So for example, if you have a new listing, a way to get interactive with your audience about that is posting 4 photos of 4 different rooms. So you post a question with which is your favorite room? And you would have a photo of the kitchen, primary bedroom, bathroom, and dining room. And those become your options. You write in A, you know, kitchen, etc. And then this sticker is interactive. So anyone that sees this post can kind of play along and say, oh, well, the kitchen is my favorite. And when this 24 hours is over, Instagram will actually ask you if you want to post the answers. I highly recommend you do. It does make it kind of a fun game. And people are like, oh, that's so cool. Like, you know, 33% of people liked the same one I did. So that is a really good way to use them. If you have an open house coming up, you can share your open house invite on your story and actually start a countdown 1 to 2 days before the open house, as well as add a link directly to your either realtor.ca profile or your virtual tour. So on your story now, you have your open house invite, which has all the details. You have a countdown, and you have a link directly to a virtual tour or more information about the house, which is really, really cool. Does anyone have any questions about stories? No, all right. Shall we do triplex? Try. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 5, or 6?
2.
2, 1, 2. All right, so I'm gonna pick this time. We're gonna go with number 1. So number 1 is just sold. If I look at my notes here, just sold, just leased. So congratulations, happy clients, yay. And another achievement in your real estate career. Let's celebrate. Your social media post. You can use Canva, such as you did for your just listed, whether it's a custom template, a prime agent template, or you just use the search bar in Canva to see what other templates are available for you to use. You need to be blasting this news everywhere. Wherever you posted the just listing, your just sold needs to go as well. You can use a congratulatory caption, and that can, you know, for example, say sold at, and then your address, a little bit about the great story behind it. Contact me box at the bottom. Contact me, agent name, phone number, email, website, a few hashtags, and that's it. I definitely recommend posting personal posts relatively soon after posting a just sold or just leased. If you post a just sold, just leased, like all this real estate stuff in order, your engagement is going to go down. I've seen it happen multiple times, and I don't want that to happen for you guys. So my opinion is to post personal posts at least 2 after you post a just sold or just leased. The other ways that you can kind of do a congratulatory post on a just sold or something like that is the closing gifts. So I know a lot of realtors will post whether they've received or given a closing gift. Or again, a cool story or a, for example, there was one agent that he actually got a bread maker as a closing gift because, yeah. And so that was really funny. And that's the way that he celebrated on social media for his clients selling their house. So that was really cool. I don't give a lot of notes on a just sold or just leased because you already have the photos you used in the MLS. It just needs to be one post. It doesn't need to be, a story and a video and all that sufficient. Does anyone have any questions about that? No. Okay. Well, we're going through these real quick, which is very fun.
Sorry, Michelle, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah. For sure.
Okay. How long, let's say you sold something and you didn't do it right away.
Yeah.
How long can you wait before you do a just sold or just leased?
That's a good question. I would say if you don't do it within the week, it's more just changing the way that you post. So instead of saying like a just sold or just leased, you can do it as like a throwback or this month, like if you're at the end of the month and it happened in the beginning, you can just say this month, this is what happened.
Yeah. You could do it just closed. So it's not like it's just closed, it just closed. Like how happy my clients are that house closed today.
Yeah, absolutely. A just closed too. That's great advice.
Sorry to interrupt, but on this topic, I try to do like the closing day posts with the story of my client's journey. And that is like my highest engagement posts on my page. So definitely a very, like, I find like the just listeds, I don't care about even remotely as close to as much as I care about the like closing day. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah. Like people love it. And actually it entices people. I find that may not like know anything about the housing market to kind of feel like they might be able to tap in because they're hearing the challenges and how you overcame them. So yeah.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else have any recommendations or want to talk about kind of what they've done? No. Oh. So I do believe we only have 3 topics left. So in my hand, I have 2. Someone want to pick left or right?
Left.
Right. Okay. So what and where? So once you get your templates and you get more familiar with the technology and everything, the content creation and the consistency will come naturally. Some key pieces to note is you want to be informative. You want to always be learning your audience, learning what works, what doesn't work, and changing your strategy according to that. And be authentic. You know, like I said, it doesn't need to be glitz and glam, and people want that face-to-face interaction. So as long as you're genuine and authentic, that is a great place to start. And it doesn't matter if you have a listing or not. I will say a lot of agents will come to me and say, you know, this will be great for when I have a listing, or this is great information for when I have a listing. And there's so many things that you can be posting about without having a listing. So I've written down just a few notes, and I'm going to send this PDF to you guys, so you don't have to worry about writing all of this down, but there's tons of ways to make content. And a few of them obviously are, you know, your for sale, open house, etc. The behind the scenes that we talked about with the photographers there, or, you know, window washers, etc. Before and after pictures do really, really well if the house had been under renovations. Seller buyer tips are really good ones. And then you have your office space or your team photos, which are really good. Frequently asked questions. As a realtor, what are your most asked questions? You can base your content off of that. You can play a this or that game on your stories. Any of the blog posts are really, really good to share. So anyone that either subscribes to a, you know, keeping you in touch type of blog, or has seen the realtyexecutives.com/blog, that has great content. Testimonials and reviews, really great to share. Market updates. And if you're waiting around for inspiration, some of the places that you can go are ChatGPT, realtyexecutives.com/blog, wave.video/calendar. For those who have heard me talk about it before, it's a great tool. It gives you all the international holidays, all, you know, like National Hot Dog Day and all those things. So if you're looking for kind of the funny posts to go into your feed, that's a great space to get them from. When we're talking about frequently asked questions, you can also go to answerthepublic.com. These are the most, you can search real estate and see the most asked questions about that topic of real estate or any topic that you search. I've tried searching Ariana Grande, lots of questions come up. You can literally search any topic. And in our last video, we actually talked about Pixabay. That will also be in the resources document, but these are royalty-free pictures, videos, musics, and sounds that you can download for your content creation, which is really, really cool. So if you are waiting for inspiration, there are places to find it. And if you truly can't, please call me, email me, and we'll get you going on something. Now, in my left hand, I had open houses. So a lot of the times, open houses will go the same as, you know, you're just listed. You do your post, you do, as I said, on stories, you do your countdowns, which is great. But what you can also do is direct message on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. And you can do this with, you know, as Anita was talking about, agents in your own brokerage or agents in your sphere that you've interacted with, who, you know, if you have a just listed, they might have a buyer. And something along the lines of, hey, Michelle, my team is having an open house at this address on this date at this time. It's truly a gorgeous house. And if you or anyone you know has buyers interested in this type of property, I would love for you to come by or give me a call for more information. Thanks. It's a quick message that you can send out. All you got to do is change the name. And all you have to do is send them the post that you've already posted to your feed about your just listed or your open house. It's a really great way to interact with your sphere while still marketing your content that you worked so hard on. Now, a lot of people don't do this. I do recommend after the open house, thank the attendees for coming via social media as well. You never ever know who's watching your social media. And you also want to share highlights from the event. The best way to do this is just your front-facing camera on your phone. Right after the open house, everyone's gone, you're still in the house. And you just, again, want that face-to-face interaction. I know you don't really see their face, but trust me, it's there. And it's a great way just to say a quick thank you and get interactive with your sphere and everyone that's joined. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is newsletters, but I don't want to talk about all of it. Scott, would you like to share about your newsletter? And I think in the last year, how many leads have come from just sending that out consistently?
you've heard me talk about it before. I still send out a printed version of a newsletter. All I do is maintain the list. Morris Marketing does everything else. And right now I'm sending out consistently every month, approximately 220 of them. Every time one goes out, I get a call, I get an email, and it's usually, because it goes out consistently the first 3 or 4 days of the month, and literally I get a call, and it's because it's consistent. Now, I've been doing it for the lifetime of my career, and I can tell you that when people say direct mail is gone, I will be the first one to disagree. And I know it costs money. I think mine are $1.50 a piece. That's product produced, direct mail to their house, well worth the investment every month. But I've had people 10 years later call me and go, hey, you know, we're transferred or we're retiring. We just got your newsletter. Can you come by and give us an evaluation? And I hadn't talked to those people in 10 years. So it works. Now we also have clients that have asked me to do an e-newsletter, and with our organization, you know, there's e-newsletters that are automatic. I'm still doing both. I'm going to be doing both. I will not give up the direct mail, because right now with so much paperless, the direct mail is actually getting read. Okay, because they're not everything. Bills, the utilities, everything can go paperless. So when they get an actual something that's addressed to them, it's getting read. And I've gone to appointments where they've had it on the table. So it's that consistency though. You just can't do it once. You got to budget it for the year, realize you're going to do it for the year, and just put it into your marketing plan. But newsletters work. And if you can personalize them, even better. Okay. But I can tell you they work. I still get some at my house from local realtors, but they're consistent and they get read.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. While I deal more with the online and social media stuff, I will say if anyone has any questions about the hard copy newsletter, kind of how to start, please reach out to either of us. We'd be happy to kind of help you get started with that and talk to you more about what goes into it. As for the e-newsletter, anyone that has access to Prime Agent has the option to subscribe to the campaigns that are offered. And the campaigns are great in themselves. They are drip campaigns. They have your buyers, your sellers, first-time home buyers, holiday campaigns, purchase anniversary campaigns, all this great stuff. Please note the holiday campaigns will go out forever. I know it says that there's 8, so that's 8 years worth of holiday campaigns. International has tweaked it a bit so that as long as you keep the holiday campaigns running, they actually don't stop, which is kind of cool. It will kind of go back to the first graphic that was used 8 years prior, but if someone can remember your first email from 8 years ago, then that's on them. They get mad about that. But with the campaign subscription, you get an e-newsletter. So you can actually create groups in Prime Agent and subscribe as many groups as you can to your e-newsletter. And it automatically will have 3 blogs from the realtyexecutives.com/blog. You can go in and customize it with your featured listings, with your direct quote, or any type of personal information that you would like to add in there. However, you don't have to. As long as you have the e-newsletter turned on and your group subscribe to it, the e-newsletter will go out automatically the first Tuesday of every month. And it will include the blogs. And if you don't add anything, the blogs will just go out. If you do, it will go out. It gives you about a week to edit the e-newsletter, and Prime Agent will send you an email to let you know, okay, the e-newsletter is going out in a week. Please go ahead and make your changes now. And then you have all the about a week to get it set up. if you are not subscribing to the campaigns in Prime Agent or don't have access, you can also use Canva. Canva has great e-newsletter templates that can already show you how to set up your text, your photos. Bunny and I have created her e-newsletter that way, and it's completely changed the game. It includes, any featured listings from herself or the brokerage, a bit of community information, a bit of office information, and some graphics, and her social media handles. These are the main things that you're going to want on your social media or your e-newsletter. So when I send this out, you'll see that there's about 1.5 pages of content ideas for you in your newsletter. These include market updates, featured listings, homeowner tips, buyer-seller advice, local events and news, client testimonials or personal stories, a Q&A section, local business spotlights. Does anyone see a pattern here? The content that goes in your e-newsletter is already the content that's on your social media. All you're doing is copying that content and putting it into one document to send out directly to people. It is a great way to reuse content, whether these buyer-seller tips came out on your social media a year ago, or they're going to be coming out in 2 weeks. You've already scheduled it. Your e-newsletter is a great way to keep that direct line of communication open with your sphere, as well as repurposing this content that you spent so much time creating, or ChatGPT has spent so much time creating, depending on if you use it. Does anyone have any questions about the e-newsletter portion of it? If there's no questions about the e-newsletter,
Michelle, I don't have
I think it's safe
questions
to say my game is done.
we need an appointment.
Yes.
Go ahead, try to say it again.
We do.
No, just ask her again. I wish she heard you.
Oh, sorry. I had a question about, do we need to make a prior appointment to meet with you for social media?
Oh, a private appointment with me for social media?
Yep.
Yes.
If I have to send my social media.
Yeah, for your social media, I do host one-on-one sessions.
Okay.
Please reach out to me with any details that you would like to talk about. I also do the social media audits. For those of you that have done them, thank you. And for those of you that are new to our brokerage, that is something that we'll be sitting down one-on-one and completing. And if you have any other questions or just want to do a one-on-one sit down to go through social media again, or any of the points that I've discussed throughout this series, please reach out. I'd be happy to sit down with you one-on-one. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. But other than that, that is the end of my series. Thank you so much to everyone that has joined me. This was a great first series to host. Definitely look out for one coming up in September. It's going to give us all a little bit of a break, get everyone back to school, and then we'll pick up in September. I sent the Google Drive link in the chat. That will have all of the resources and slide decks from our series, including today's PDF. This recording, along with all the other ones that I've taken, are available on our YouTube page. That is one of the resources linked in our Google Drive. It's just Realty Executives Regional on YouTube. And thank you to everyone that has come out to, whether it's been one or all of the sessions. I really appreciate you taking the time. And thank you to everyone that's watched on YouTube. I definitely see those views going up, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Michelle, for all your hard work and putting this stuff together.
Of course.
Thanks, Michelle. Look forward to September when you start another one.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. All of
Thank
them.
you, Michelle. Thank you. It
Thank
was
you.
great videos.
Thank you.
Very
You're
helpful.
welcome.
Thank you.
Go back in school in September.
No, she's not going. She's here for good.
Oh, no, she's full time.
She's full time. Do you have 10 more minutes? Is you're okay with it rather than sending it through